Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan and I'm the author of Oodles of Teaching Fun blog. And today I'm going to share with you how I organize my RTI response to intervention and student data folders in my classroom. So I'm going to start with the materials that you'll need if you want to follow the same system as me. The first thing I go and purchase are folders, and I purchase several different colors so that it works well with my organization. I also like the pronged folders so that I can place them in specific areas and the papers are going to stay. So it's this little pronged system here. The next thing you'll want to purchase in order to hole punch is a 2-hole punch. Now you may be able to find this. I borrowed a neighbor's for years because she created the school's IEPs, so they use the same type of folders. So before you go buy one, see if a neighbor has one that you can borrow to create your folders. You will also need some printable, reusable tabs that you're going to use to divide the areas of your folders. Then you also want some labels for your folders, and these could be white ones, they could be ones that you cut up that maybe they're address labels. I like these specifically, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more why I choose to use the small rectangle and then the large rectangle shaped labels. So once you have those materials, you're ready to get started. So each folder in my classroom represents something specific. For example, for RTI, I have 2 colors. My Tier 2 students are in blue folders and my Tier 3 students are in green folders. When you look at data folders, if you are below basic, you are one color. If you are proficient, you're another color. And if you're advanced, you're another color. So I can easily look at a folder and say whether it's a data folder or an RTI folder, and then whichever one it is, what level you fall under. Now, I then take it a step farther, and the labels that I use, the reason I pick out the color-coded parts is because the colors even mean something. So for RTI folders, the pink means reading, green means that is a math students for RTI. Then for my data folders, each color represents a class period. So orange would be my first class period. So that's how I use those tabs. Now the reason why I have a large one and a small one is because the large is for the student's name and the small is for their grade. Since I work with students over multiple years, I don't want to have to rewrite their name on their folder each year. I can just rewrite their grade level as that changes. So that's why I do that. So moving on into the folder, I use the paper and the tabs to divide the different areas. And this is helpful because I know every time I have an RTI meeting, I'm going to need to look at a student's evaluation plan. And I don't want to have to dig through all of the paperwork that's required. I can easily go to the tab, which is red, and it says Evaluation of Intervention. And when I go to that tab, it's going to open up right to that page. Now this is an empty file because it can't show you a real student's file, but right here underneath that red would be that student's intervention plan, so I wouldn't have to go fumbling through all the papers, and it's going to make that meeting go much shorter and we spend more time talking about kids instead of hunting paperwork. And they're all the same way. So same thing, if I want to find fidelity checks, I'm going to go on this yellow slip here, and then the yellow paper. Underneath the yellow paper is where the fidelity checks would go. So I have my RTI folder divided up into these areas. I have attendance and grades, fidelity checks, intervention data, evaluation plan. Then on this side I have parent letters, screening referrals, and decision trees. I have this all typed up and ready to go, so if you happen to use the same tabs as I do, you can go down to the info box and download it already pre-color coded and organized for you. But you can organize it any way it works for you. The only difference a data folder would have versus an RTI folder are the labels. So instead of having all this information that I may not need as far as like fidelity checks and things like that, I'm going to break it down into the types of data. So we use Study Island, Ames Web, classroom assessments, students' goals, and students' evaluation of their data, because I want to make sure students know what their data is and how they can improve on it, and that they have control over what it says about them and that they can see the changes that they're making over the year. So that's how I organize my folders. It's helped a whole lot when I'm in meetings, be able to easily pull it. If my principal comes in and says, you know, how is so-and-so doing, I can pull their folder and flip right to the data. It's just a really great way to stay organized and not feel so flustered or frustrated when you can't find that one piece of data you need to show a parent or a student or just your RTI coordinator. So I'm excited to share all this with you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. If you don't care to please subscribe and like, it really helps my channel so more teachers can see what I'm putting out there. If you have a question or would like me to cover a specific topic, please comment below. I would love to record a video on that topic. I will talk to you next week. Bye!